What you saw there was 11,000 drones flying in unison to create an image in the sky. Now sit back and think how hard that would be to manage 11,000 drones. So you may ask yourself, how is that possible? Well, I'm glad you asked, because in this video, we are going to discuss Hedera Hashgraph, aka HBAR, and show you another side of Hedera that you may not be aware of. So if you're in the market, you're an investor, you've been focusing a lot on the money movement, how we're moving money all around via stablecoins, DLT, all these things. But DLT, crypto, and Web3 provide so much more. So let's shine some light on the capabilities of where our technology is headed going forward. And Hedera is a great example, and they are revolutionizing the technology field as we're going forward. We're going to talk about how they're impacting drones, the airspace itself with flights, also with vehicles. We're going to talk about it with space, satellites, rockets. Also, they're revolutionizing reporting and photos. Their technology can detect if your photo is fake or manipulated in any way. So stick around to find out, because we are going to do a little bit of a deep dive into Hedera. It might be a project you want to look at, because they are tied to some major names. And I'm going to show you in this video how they are setting themselves apart and why you might want to invest in them. Not financial advice. As always, do your own research. I will post my links down below so you can go through the data yourself and make the decision for yourself. So let's dive in and let's look at Hedera, and let's look at some key points here to kind of see where we're at, just in case you're not aware of it. So it's right over here. This is off of Hedera's website. It says Neuron. Neuron is creating a shared data platform for drone devices using ground-based sensors. Neuron records real-time flights, events, ensures pilots know when other drones are in the area. The visibility allows pilots to fly their drones without fearing a collision. Neuron uses the Hedera network to keep its real-time data secure. Hedera's low fee makes it an ideal solution due to the large volume of record real-time data. Okay, so that's coming from Neuron and Hedera explaining how their partnership works and why they kind of chose each other, right? Well, this right here is actually from NASA through their tech port. They're talking about a company called C10 and how they need a better network to run a more secure and accurate information through their systems as they're building out the space technology, because they have to be exactly on point, no room for error. And they are using Hedera as that trusted layer. So when you think about what they're talking about, you're talking about NASA using this information or this technology. So if you know NASA using it, you know our government's using it, our military's using it. This is going to be a massive project. They're already down in Australia moving, money around down there, but they also do things like this. So let's dive in and see what they're talking about here on the NASA website. It says Hedera is a public distributed ledger technology, DLT, that solves all the challenges and inefficiencies of the blockchain commonly associated with Bitcoin or Ethereum. Unlike blockchain, Hedera Hashgraph provides transaction speeds up to 500,000 per second. 500,000 transactions per second. That is insane. Like, really sit back and think how massive that is. With per second, with over 900,000 a day just in beta phase. The highest known level of security, the ABFT, and a world-class governance council that includes Boeing, Google, IBM, amongst other, and they have a huge council. Like, the list really is insane. Amongst others, as invested managing members. C10 Global, trustworthy, robust encrypted file service dApp, and a space mission management dApp built on Hedera Hashgraph distributed ledger network, providing enterprise level performance, security, governance, stability, and regulatory compliance. So Hedera checks all those boxes for them, and that's why they are trusting in Hedera. And as you can see, Hedera is going to be a massive player going forward. In my opinion, not financial advice, the current price of Hedera does not reflect its capabilities. I think very much like XRP, Hedera is being held down, because this is a revolutionizing technology that the government is going to want, and governments around the world are going to want this technology, and they are already adopting it as is. So in this video, we're gonna actually look at a couple of clips. So if you're not a clip person, I'm sorry, but these clips will do a way better job of explaining this technology than I could ever do so. So if you're interested in Hedera and HBAR and this technology as a whole, just in general, check these clips out. I promise you they are extremely informative, and you're gonna wanna know a little bit about what's coming up so you can invest wisely going forward. So right over here, just a little teaser from Neuron so you can understand what they are building and what they are doing. It's 1 minute long. Stick around. I promise you it's worth that watch. So let's check it out right now.
Artificial intelligence is already performing magic, driving cars, creating art, and diagnosing patients. All of this with limited connectivity to the world. Imagine a future where it had access to the planet's entire bandwidth of IoT resources, connected vehicles, weather sensors, EV chargers, drones, all connected, all sharing, all understanding. Centralization poses risks. It will inevitably lead to control. Control will lead to inefficiency and censorship. We know there's a better way. Neuron is creating a decentralized trust layer, connecting applications to the planet's entire bandwidth of IoT resources to exchange value peer-to-peer in a trusted manner. Sell your electric vehicle's data to pay for its charging. Sell your unused Wi-Fi bandwidth to access public Wi-Fi anywhere. Connect a flight tracking sensor to pay for your drone delivery. The mission is to build a public Internet of Things ecosystem where anyone can contribute and connections are valued.
Okay, so in that video, you saw right there that they are thinking the whole world being ran on this. When we're thinking about Tesla, their self-driving cars, drones. When we think about military is using drones more and more each day. When we think about going to outer space or any kind of missions with satellites, they're going to be all unmanned and they're going to need this kind of technology to operate. Think of that bigger picture. And right now, an everyday example is you may have seen a company like Walmart using drone technology to deliver your goods. That's only going to expand from here. I hope you understand the bigger picture is to become more AI driven and more robotic driven. We're gonna have more robots, we're gonna have more drones, and those devices are gonna need to have a trusted source like Hedera to operate safely and securely and accurately, or else it doesn't work. And the companies building that out, they truly understand that message there. So they've done that through Hedera, which is, I think, pretty phenomenal. And hopefully the video didn't get cut out because of YouTube cutting that sound out. So I'll put the captions there. So hopefully that helped. These next two clips, I did the same thing with the captions just in case YouTube wants to kill out that sound because of the music playing in the background. Hopefully they didn't do that. I won't know until after the video is posted. That's just how it works. But check it out from here. Like I said earlier in the opening, is that Hedera is also changing how we do reporting, voting, doing our reporting, but also validating that these are real images or real reports and documents, right? So when we think about it, right now, when you see things on the internet, you're scrolling through your feed, you're seeing these crazy, wild videos or these weirdly weird images of, unbelievable things. You want to validate if that's real information or not. As we start getting more advanced in AI, you're going to start seeing a lot more fakes out there, deepfakes. I'm sure you've heard these terms right in the past. So we need a safety net to show us what's real and what's not real. We got to be able to validate that. So these next two clips here, they're going to be about 30 seconds each. They are going to walk through exactly what Hedera is doing to prevent that. So stick around to find out because it's really some mind-blowing technology. So let's dive on in and check it out right here.
Today I was using a Starlink capture phone in addition to my Canon camera. The phone simultaneously will hash the image, it will hash the metadata, the barometer, the gyroscope, the GPS data, and send all this information to Reuters. What this process does is it creates a chain that shows this photo was taken in exactly the place that we say it was taken. This has a lot of relevance for photos it's taken in war zones, for example, or taken in countries where elections are less trusted. It basically just creates an extra layer of trust around a process which is very much in question at the moment.
So you can use your imagination from there to think. Right now, you see this divide through our nations, through our countries. A lot of people are divided because there's a lot of wrong information out there. This is going to help bring everybody together to validate, is this true or not? Because that's going to be extremely important. And right now, more than ever, you're seeing that to be true. So in this next clip, they're going to go in deeper dive of how this works. It's great that they can do that, but we must have access to that information to validate that, or else it's useless, right? I mean, we as the populace need to be able to access that. Well, right here, they explain in that clip how that's possible. Again, another 30 seconds, don't click off. Very valuable information in this.
We use next generation protocols from Filecoin and IPFS to transmit the photos and then securely store them with advanced cryptographic proofs. This establishes the integrity of the data from the field all the way up to the newsroom. We then used IBM Hyperledger Fabric and the Hedera Hashgraph to create a system for Reuters editors to log on an immutable ledger every change made to a photograph before it's published, and then deployed a decentralized gun database to allow millions to access these records. All of these assertions around the time, date, and the location of the image are embedded and encrypted directly within the file itself to clarify it, to give it context, and to make fact checkers' jobs far easier.
Okay, so again, they really laid out what that technology is bringing. So when we go forward and we do our voting, or we're seeing the information on the internet, we can now have ability to validate our sources and make sure this is true information. So think bigger when you're investing. Think what this is really going to do. You've heard this is a new industrial revolution, right? But through our technology, this technology really is revolutionizing just our technical field as a whole. I can't express that enough. And I'm really trying to sink it into your head so you understand and you get excited and you want to go search and understand this information more, because more that you understand what this technology is going to do, the stronger conviction you're going to have to go invest in it properly. And when you see weeks like the week we've seen through August 25th on through September, we're seeing how volatile this market can get, but it's getting volatile because of this technology is super crucial and it's going to change everything. And the people that are like the whales that are investing in these institutions, they know what this technology is. They want it for themselves. They don't want you to know it. So I'm here to share just the information. I hope you got something from this. I hope that you see the bigger picture. And if you did, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing and sharing the video. As you know, it does really help the channel and it helps us get this information out to the rest of the people. Let's take back the power from all the major whales and investors, and let's give it back to the common people as this technology is meant to do. That's all I have for you guys on this video, but always remember, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you. This world is too hard without us working together. Let's treat everybody the way we want to be treated and be that change we want to be. Until then, guys, I will see you on the next one.